I'm gonna be giving away 10 of these.
Some people would go as far as to call minimalism genius. Some people would go to the other extreme and call it lazy. And to that I say, this video is definitely for you. What's up guys, Kier here, and today I am bringing you something I am so excited for. As most of you probably already know, I have been working with Alex Pandrea and Knock and House of Playing Cards for I guess like a year and a half now. In that time, I've been very lucky, I've been very fortunate. I've gotten to see a lot of the new decks, a lot of the behind the scenes work that goes into making these decks, and today I get to unveil a project that I am just absolutely stoked for. If you're familiar with the Knock Playing Card Company, then you're definitely familiar with Alex Pandrea, and if you're familiar with Alex Pandrea, you're definitely familiar with his style, his aesthetic, his taste for designing playing cards. Alex is definitely known for doing things on a minimal scope. In terms of the Knock playing cards, they're exactly as minimal as you could possibly get. Over the years, I've heard good things about this, I've heard bad things about this. Some people would go as far as to call minimalism genius. Some people would go to the other extreme and call it lazy. And to that I say, this video is definitely for you. Today we are going to be taking a look at not one, but technically 10 new decks of playing cards that are going to be available this coming Tuesday on houseofplayingcards.com. As well, today's episode is sponsored by the House of Playing Cards, so if you guys want to know at the end how you can win some of these decks, stick around. All that and more coming up, but before we get into it, please do drop a like on this video, and of course subscribe if you haven't yet, okay? I can wait. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and roll the intro and get you guys on your way. Here's a little tease. Ooh, I almost don't even want to show these. Just kidding, I can't wait to show them. All right, so today we're gonna be taking a look at one of the newest concepts, I guess, in cardistry and magic training as presented by the House of Playing Cards. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the LZY Deck. The LZY Deck is meant for cardistry and magic training. This is a deck of cards that's not meant for performance per se, but definitely something that's meant for those of us that like to fidget with playing cards and practice with playing cards throughout the day. And we don't want to ruin our performance decks. You know, the decks that we're out there, having torn and signed and ripped up, we don't want to ruin those. This deck really embodies the idea of practice and training, two things that every magician and every cardist has to do regularly. The idea behind these cards was to give people a deck that they could kind of thrash, not have to worry about having a bunch of them laying around, not have to worry about ripping them, dropping them on the floor, getting them dirty, getting your hands on them, and really using them. Think of it as kind of like, you have your shoes that you wear when you go out, you have your outfits that you wear when you go out and you want to look nice, and then you have your sweatpants and your activewear that you wear when you're sitting on the couch doing nothing. This is the equivalent of the activewear that you're gonna have on when you're sitting on the couch and doing nothing, and I think it really works. So let's talk about it. The minimalism starts with the tuck box. As you can see, this is just a white tuck, and it has a little piece, a little window cut out of the front, and a little window cut out of the back. It says LZY Deck on the side with some ad copy, and same thing on the front, and it says that these are playing cards meant for magic and cardistry training. Let me show you guys the cards so you can get a better idea for what it is that I'm talking about. As you can see, these playing cards don't have a back design, and they also don't have a face design. They are all one solid color on the faces and one solid color on the back. Now I know what you're thinking, and before you say, it's lazy, trust me, we know. The whole point of this deck is to have a deck of cards that you can practice your sleights with, that you can practice cardistry with, and you don't necessarily have to worry about what's on the backs or the front. You can just have your fun and do your practice. This of course is not meant to be a worker's deck. There's nothing to it except for two solid colors and an amazing card stock that we will be talking about very soon. Personally, what I love about this deck is that it is exactly what I would be used to using when I'm practicing. So if I'm sitting at my desk and I'm editing a video or I'm working on something and I just want to fidget with some cards and mess with them, I'm not concerned about what's on the back and I'm not concerned about what's on the front. I'm just, without even looking, practicing sleights. Same thing goes when I'm doing cardistry. Sometimes I don't even look at the cards, therefore I don't really care what's on them. I just want a nice feeling deck of cards that I can mess around with. It does help that these come in some fantastic colorways. Now there are 10 different variations of the LZY deck, and they come in 10 or technically 20 different colors. This one is probably my favorite at the moment. This is kind of a watermelon colorway. We've got this nice kind of soft minty green on the backs, and then we've got this kind of pink salmon color, coral color for the fronts. I don't even know what the front and backs of these are. Now, of course, if you're doing things like practicing your classic pass, all you need to do is turn one card over and that becomes kind of the odd card out so you can practice with it. I really love the concept, I really love the idea, but what I also love is the price. These cards are gonna be extremely affordable. No matter where you're at in the world, you'll be able to get some. The other thing that may or may not have even been intentional, although spoiler alert, it was, is that the variant and contrasting colorways offer you some really interesting visuals that you can do. If you're just making a cardistry video, there's no reason why you couldn't use these cards and get some amazing, kick-ass, magical visuals out of it. Specifically, all of these cards look really good in flourishes like Bloom. Depending on the angle you're holding them at, it can kind of create a magical color gradient from one color to the next right before a spectator's eyes, and it looks fantastic. Let me show you guys some other colors. So we have this kind of watermelon colorway. I really, really enjoy this one. And because it's the fall season, we gotta have some fall colors. So we also have this really nice gold color. And the other side is this nice deep olive green color, this kind of army camo green. Now, because this deck of cards is meant for cardistry training, of course, making it affordable was important, making it look nice was important, but the card stock is equally as important. These cards come printed from Carta Mundi on their slimline card stock. So these feel very similar to like crushed USPCC cards, but they're much, much more durable and they feel so good. In fact, I've never quite handled a deck of cards that feels like these. I think it might be a mixture of just the amount of ink that's on the paper because there is no negative space, it's just solid color, but the cards feel really good. They're extremely smooth. They fan very well, of course, as you can expect from Carta Mundi, and they're soft, and that's something that is so important for me, especially when I'm practicing. I like to use decks that feel soft and kind of worn in already, that aren't stiff, that aren't sticky. They're nice and smooth and nice and soft. Now, in terms of review, there's not really much to say. There's no artwork, it's just solid colors, but the whole point is these cards are amazing. Ever since I got them in the mail from the warehouse, I have been obsessed. I've been using these watermelon ones non-stop. I love them. They sit at my desk. They don't leave my desk. I use them when I'm editing. I use them when I'm shooting. I use them when I'm on the phone. I use them when I'm eating dinner. I use them when I'm watching TV. Let me show you guys some of the other colorways and then we will get into the details for the giveaway. This color is also really nice. This is kind of a light sky blue and then a nice navy blue. This is one of those things you could definitely match it to your outfits. And if you're doing cardistry and not magic, there's no reason why you couldn't just have this as your everyday carry, which is also really nice. We've got a classic contrast here. We have black and red. These are sick. I really like the look of these. So you can see we've got this beautiful dark and heavy ink on the front. And then when you turn it around, you have this nice, vibrant, bright red. And that, oh, just looks so good. We've also got this nice kind of like sand khaki color and maroon, keeping up with those fall vibes, of course. This one definitely matches the aesthetic that we have going on in the studio today. These are the NOC 3000 V2 colors. So we've got this beautiful hot pink on one side and then this super deep purple on the other side. I love these. These match pretty much every single outfit that I wear, and they definitely match whatever's going on in the background right now. We've got a nice neutral one. It's got gray on one side and then a little bit of a faded bright red on the back side. These are also very cool. All of these colors look great. There's some that I prefer, but to be honest, I love them all. This one's also really nice. We've got the black on one side and then this bright lime green on the other. Now, I will be doing a separate video showing you guys something very, very cool, kind of a camera magic effect that you can do using this specific colorway. That's gonna be in another video, but make sure you check it out. Make sure you're subscribed. You don't wanna miss that. And then we've got this kind of like the Verts colorway where it's gray on one side and then this beautiful mustard yellow on the other side. Now this one I particularly enjoy for outside. I don't know why, but when I'm outside, I think this deck looks great if I'm taking photos, if I'm making a video, whatever, looks really good. So those are the 10 colorways of the Lazy Deck by House of Playing Cards. I honestly think this concept is really cool. Alex actually said it, he teased it in his Instagram as either his best idea or his worst idea. So I'm curious to know what you guys think of these down below. Leave a comment, but of course, be gentle because you're talking about my friends here and a project that I'm passionate about. All right, now if you do love the look and the vibe and the concept of the Lazy Deck, well, you are in luck because I'm going to give you guys some details right now. These playing cards are going to be available this coming Tuesday at houseofplayingcards.com. Now, here is the kicker. You're going to want to make sure you have all 10 colorways, right? The most important thing to know here is that if you want to have all 10 colorways, you can afford all 10 colorways because these cards are extremely affordable. I'm not going to get into the exact pricing because it's going to differ based on where your location is in the world. Obviously, I don't want to break down how much this is going to cost in sterling pounds versus American dollars versus Canadian dollars, but I promise you these are going to be some cheap playing cards. If you're somebody who likes to match your playing cards to your outfit, I really don't see any other choice but to pick up all of your favorite colors. I would just recommend buying all 10. They're so cheap and they look so cool. Also, this is totally just my opinion, but the way that I have these cards like stacked up, just seeing all of the different Lazy Decks on the sides, I think it looks really cool. It looks really interesting, and it's not something that you're used to seeing in a series, 10 cards, 10 different colorways, 20 technically, coming out all at once. It's insane.
Big shout out to the boss himself, Alex Pandrea, and of course the fine folks over at Cardamundi for knocking it out of the park with this one. Okay, so if you guys want to win some of these gorgeous Lazy Decks, look at how well this one matches what I'm wearing right now. You see what I mean? If you guys want to win some of these, here's all you got to do. Number 1, be a subscriber on this channel. Hit the notification bell. That part's important so you don't miss any videos. Number 2, make sure you drop a like on this video so that I know you enjoy it. And number 3, screenshot the photo that's on your screen right now and post it to Instagram, and make sure you tag me, Alex, and Knock Playing Cards in the post. You also have to be following us on Instagram, but that's a given. Make sure you tag all 3 of us so that we can see it. Post it to your feed so that your followers can see it, and that is all I ask. I will be picking a winner for these decks in 2 weeks, and I'm going to be giving away one of each colorway. Good luck to everybody. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I know I did. And if you did too, make sure you drop a like, and of course consider subscribing for more awesome content just like this. Thank you to House of Playing Cards for sponsoring today's episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.